Hey everyone, it's Mike here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the geometry functions in Affinity Designer. Instead of creating unique shapes by hand, geometry functions are used to combine simple shapes together to create a new, unique shape. The principles from this video can be applied to other design software as well. So, without further ado, let's get started. In Affinity Designer, there are 5 geometry functions. The first function is called the add function. In order to use the geometry function, we need to select 2 or more overlapping shapes. With the Move tool selected, we can select the shapes by clicking and dragging a box containing the shapes, or we can individually select them by clicking on one of the shape and then hold down the Shift left click on the other shape. So here we have both shapes selected. Let's go up to our geometry functions located in our toolbar and then click on the Add button. Now you can see that both of the shapes are consolidated into one shape and one layer. The second geometry function is called Subtract. Let's select our 2 shapes and click on the Subtract button. As you can see, the subtract function subtracts the top shape from the bottom shape, leaving behind the remnant of the bottom shape. So think of it like a hole puncher with custom shapes. The third geometry function is called Intersect. Let's select our 2 shapes again and click on the Intersect button. As you can see, the Intersect function cuts out the areas outside of the overlapping areas. The fourth geometry function is called Soar. Let's select our 2 shapes and click on the Soar button. Here you can see that the Soar function is the complete opposite of the Intersect because it cuts out only the overlapping areas from both of the shapes. The last geometry function is called Divide. Let's select our 2 shapes and click on the Divide button. As you can see, the Divide function divides the shapes and create a new shape based on the overlapping areas. As you can see on the Layers palette, there is an additional shape. It's much more flexible than the other functions because you can manually delete the overlapping shape or the shape outside of the overlapping shape, or you can change the color of the individual shape as well. And now we're going to check out some examples on using the geometry functions. Let's select all of the shape in this artboard and click on the Add button. Here you can see we now have a silhouette of a car. Moving on to the next artboard, let's select the shapes and click on the Subtract button. Here you can see we now have a play button, and remember, it is subtracting the shape on the top from the bottom. Next, let's select the shape and click on the Intersect button. As you can see, only the overlapping areas remain. This is great for creating unique shapes for your design work. After that, let's select the shapes and click on the Zoom button. Here you can see only the middle hexagon shape was cut out because the Zoom function cuts out only the overlapping areas from the shapes and removes them. Finally, let's select the shape and click on the Divide button. Here you can see the heart shapes are divided into pieces, so you can edit them freely. As you can see, the geometry functions can help you save a ton of time in your design work. You may use these functions to help you design icons, logos, illustrations, or any other design work. And that concludes our demonstration on how to use the geometry functions. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions, what you think, or what kind of tutorials that you look forward to seeing in my next videos. And if you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe to check out what other creative projects or tutorials I will be working on next. On that note, I'll see you next time.